dusty road. See my brother growing older. The lines in his face tell the story of a younger man. He's a tradesman from the old school. Had to work like a dog and he ain't no fool. Got a name for himself, but it's not a him a big price. He worked his fingers down to the bone. Always took a gamble all along. And crushed the beans and super glue to the wall. But a tree tried to take him, put him 6 feet under. Snap at the crack and the sound of thunder. His guardian angel worked overtime through the night. It's been a long time since the days of old. Time passes by like a needle in the sky. I can still see my brother standing there with a younger man. Always work to be done. Keep it in the family, that's what they say. I was the first little brother.
Winning to me is the fight on the inside. That's the win. You know, we carry a lot of this like ego, this kind of like demons, these things that are inside of us, right? And just like the boxing, it's really like a mirror to yourself. Like you get all your insecurities, all your anxieties just put on the table because you just start to feel it, and then getting in there and clearing your mind and conquering that and silencing all those demons, shutting it all up is conquering. That's what I would describe as conquering the fear, conquering the demons, and kind of understanding it from more of an objective point of view. Like one thing, like when I talk about this feeling that you get from boxing, right? Like this unity that you get, you go from this multiplicity to like being kind of here in the moment, and like there's so much more control, I think, of yourself and of your own emotions, and of your impulses. So I think a lot of my demons, a lot of people's demons that they face, like they have these problems, maybe you have like issues at home, and you have these internal, like this maybe a depression, or you're a very angry person. This boxing gives you this key to just be more in control. Anybody, so it's kind of like you have these inner demons that some of them are chattering in your ear. They're telling you that you can't do it, that you're not strong enough, that you're not good enough. And then you have some inner demons that are like, oh, I'm this big tough guy. And no matter what, it's like you're always like brought up and you're always grounded. Like anybody who's got this big, who walks in here, who's got this big ego that there's this tough guy, they get into the boxing ring and it's eliminated. It's like they're humbled very quickly. And somebody like for me, when I was first started, it was much more like empowering and like my inner demons were like doubt and like I didn't have like much confidence and like those little demons of like those little things in your head that says you can't do something. That is what I think I conquered. And I think that it's a very positive feeling that it gives me and it's given other people, but it's also a very goal-directed feeling. It's like anybody who's achieved anything great they had tunnel vision on that goal, like they were just going for it. It's I think the concept of flow to me that is like that unity, that single, like I'm here right now and I'm just focused. I'm in the moment. I'm present. I'm not preoccupied with anything in the past or the future. I'm together. I'm right now, and I'm going after it. You know, and I think and that's where the fear I think comes into. I think that fear can kind of hold us back from a lot of things that we do, but. So boxing is just like this. It's this thing that you do that throws you outside your comfort zone over and over and over again. You're constantly getting thrown outside of your comfort zone, and you're attacking that fear over and over again. And if it wasn't for boxing, I definitely wouldn't have done a lot of the things in my life.
I think anything that affords you the opportunity to challenge yourself, to work hard towards very specific goals, to train your body and mind and spirit to grow and to take on challenges and tasks. I think all those things have tremendous benefits.
But you step by step, you keep working hard, you keep going towards that goal, and then you take that leap of faith where you're going outside your comfort zone, and you kind of challenge that fear, and then you overcome it.
You live and die with every fight. You live and die with every win. And so, from a positive psychology standpoint, boxing is the purest, or one of the purest tests that could be. Almost like a soldier going into battle. I imagine jumping out of an airplane is a little bit like this. It's putting everything on the line for direct cause and a challenge. And it's sort of a combination of jumping out of an airplane, running a marathon, and having a chess match with everybody watching. And your mind, your spirit, and your body is being put to the test.
I'm just this troubled kid. He's kind of screwed up my life. I'm not doing good in high school. And the boxing, like coming in here and taking a kid like that and having him come into that boxing ring and get beat up and punched in the face and have that like in the moment feeling is just taking like a bucket of water and just splashing it in my face. And it came at the absolute like perfect time and really just centered. I just became so centered from that. It was just chaos, complete storm, right? Complete chaos. And I still had trouble surrounding me, but then I just became the eye of the storm, right? You found that calmness, but before it's just complete chaos. I used to do all kinds of drugs and stuff in high school. I overdosed when I was in high school. I overdosed on some prescription medication. And the kid, one of my best friend from high school, he overdosed with me, and we were both spent the nights. I spent one night in the hospital, and he spent 3 nights in the hospital. And the fact that I remember that was probably one of the hardest things I had to go through, because I remember I had to talk to his parents, and kind of explain to them what we did while he was still in the hospital. And he was like in a completely like crazy, like they don't know what's wrong with him or if he's gonna ever come out of this state. They thought he might be in a vegetated state for a long time. So I mean, that to me, that point in my life was that I turned everything around after that. That was like, all right, now that's where I turned my focus to boxing for a while. The best boxing fight, or the best experience I had from boxing, for me was a loss. It was like this, it was just as I was describing. It was like the toughest fight I've ever been in, but like my friends and family were there, and like, you could just feel the energy in the building, and the people, and me and this kid were just going at it. And afterwards, I was completely destroyed. I had like marks all over my face, and I lost. It did not even cross my mind as no disappointment at all when the guy didn't raise my hand. I just did not care. It just, you know, everybody in the whole building has total respect for you. Everybody's just cheering you on, patting you, and the kid that you just fought is just like, oh man, that was just crazy. Like, the most blissful contentment. Like, I just pushed myself to the absolute maximum. I got through that, and I'm okay, and I feel great.
There's a big focus on mindfulness and getting the most out of each present moment. That is very powerful. And that's, you know, it's one of the things we study in positive psychology. And you try to walk the walk and talk the talk and live in a way that is that matches what we study and what we improve.
It's being more in control, where I'm not going to give in to those impulses. Or if somebody on the street or somebody at the bar or in any public place like says something to me or sticks their tongue out, tries to intimidate you, like, it's like whatever, you know. You're not as reactive. You're much more proactive, or you're much more picking your actions. It's not just like somebody gives you that input and all of a sudden I'm going to react. Now I realize, like, you can go a whole lifetime without having, you know, a real present moment, you know. And people are just so preoccupied, and like our mind, we're all over the place.
We're born with predispositions, and optimism and pessimism clearly have a genetic tendency. And what happens in our lives and the choices we make are also very powerful. Somebody who has a negative natural outlook can learn to be more positive. And someone with a positive natural outlook can get discouraged and become more negative based on the way they live. So it's an interaction of nature and nurture. But we can clearly affect, the brain has incredible plasticity, and through mindfulness and meditation and all kinds of cognitive therapies that they have, which have you monitor your own thought processes and then challenge pessimistic thinking, catastrophizing, your ability to notice that you're making a challenging situation worse is huge. It's the kind of things where the challenge is clear, the task is difficult, and the process brings you to a higher level. If anything that does that will have a positive outcome for people. We have to find our passions. And if it's art, or if it's music, or if it's boxing, find your passions and pursue them.
You only know, you only realize the way you're living until you're on the other side. Like, until I got into that ring and I just like, oh my God, I just get out and like, there's blood all over myself, and it doesn't matter though. You have that blissful contentment, like in the moment feeling. It's only that point you realize, wow, the way I've been living is like, you know, fascinated with just all the wrong things, you know. Yeah. So I would say, like, yeah, it's like, it's only when you reach the light, right? When you realize you were in darkness.